Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. Welcome to another exciting adventure that we call EP Live. Yes, we are live. If you are watching this as an archived video later, after we post it, come back and join us for a live show, because it's a lot of fun. There's lots of incredible people in the chat room. Hello, everybody in chat. And we've got a lot of great things planned for today's episode. We're going to get started with our rundown, which is dedicated to Odd Apprentice, who says, did you try turning the game off and on again? Talking about my Darksiders 3 issues. I did try that, and I still had the issues. Great advice, though, Odd Apprentice. That earns you a rundown. Netflix is turning a blind eye to Daredevil. The Marvel superhero series has officially been canceled on the streaming platform. The third season debuted back in October, and there were already fears that it wouldn't be renewed after Netflix canceled two other Marvel shows, Iron Fist and Luke Cage. In a statement, Netflix confirms that Daredevil will not be back for a fourth season. At least they say it will not be back for a fourth season on Netflix. This wording seems to imply that it could return somewhere else, perhaps another streaming service like the Disney-owned Hulu or their upcoming Disney Plus. It's unclear if Disney setting up this rival streaming service is what killed their relationship with Netflix. Both companies have stated that this isn't the case, but the short timing of all these cancellations makes that a little hard to believe. Right now, there are just two Marvel shows left on Netflix, Jessica Jones and The Punisher. Both of those shows have new seasons in the pipeline, but don't be surprised if they're the last, and I won't be surprised, and this is just tragic news. I was absolutely blown away by the last season of Daredevil. I love the show in general, and I've, for the most part, really dug this partnership between Marvel and Netflix. It's allowed for a much more gritty, much more adult-oriented collection of superhero shows, although none of them really dive into the superhero-ness. Everybody just seems worried and afraid to put their costumes on in these shows. But I love watching them, and I hope that this just sort of opens the door to Disney figuring out another solution for these things. They've said many times that Disney Plus is more family-oriented. These shows are not family-oriented. These things are not meant for younger viewers at all. So I think we may see these things on Hulu if the viewership sort of warrants the investment in more of it. I for one, I'm ready to sign a petition to keep these things going. I don't know about you guys, but I want Marvel to produce more of this stuff. I don't know what the rights are like, though. I don't know if Netflix has any kind of stakehold in the fact that these creative projects came together under their umbrella, or they had any say in. I guess they don't own them. I think these are Marvel-owned properties, and they can do what they want with them. But it is fascinating, right? This is competition in the entertainment industry to the fullest extent, regardless of what Netflix and Marvel are saying and Disney is saying. This is all about money and dollars and viewership and subscription. What was interesting, though, is that yesterday was also the day that Netflix announced all kinds of price hikes, at least here in Canada. I don't know if it's all over the world for Netflix, but all the plans are going up. Some of them, like the $10.99 plan in Canada, is going up to $13.99, which is a substantial increase. And it's, I think Daredevil is one of the marquee shows on Netflix. I just thought really inappropriate timing to say, nope, this show is done, and you got to pay us more for the other shows that you may not want if you're a huge Marvel fan. We'll see how all of that plays out, and we'll see what Disney's got to say about the superhero shows that they're making for their services. All right. Players will soon be able to strap on an Iron Man suit and soar into the world of Anthem. EA and BioWare have announced that the closed alpha test for the massive online game will happen December 8th and 9th on all three platforms, the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Sign-ups are now open on EA's community playtesting site, although because this is a closed alpha, EA points out that the space will be very limited and there's no guarantee that you'll get in. If you don't, there will be more pre-launch tests and early demos before the game arrives. Anthem is a massive online sci-fi game similar to Destiny, where players take on missions by themselves or with friends. It's part of EA's recent emphasis on the games as service model, so they plan to keep updating it with new content for years to come. The final version lands February 22nd. Over in the fantasy realm, BioWare has confirmed that they're also working on a new Dragon Age game, with the first unveiling expected to happen at Jeff Keighley's Game Awards next week. Man, my fingers are crossed for both Anthem and more Dragon Age, and honestly, something percolating with Mass Effect. I love BioWare. It's an incredible company, incredible studio. What a pedigree they have set, what heritage they have, and I genuinely hope that all of these things are successful. I want Anthem to be amazing. I enjoyed my playtest with it at E3. I thought it was a lot of fun, but clearly it was just a tiny little sliver, so I don't really know the depth of the story or what the other hooks are going to be to keep me wanting to play, but I've got my fingers crossed. I hope it's incredible, and I want more Dragon Age for sure, and honestly, I want more of all of this BioWare content in with the learnings that have come from the failure of Andromeda. That just didn't work, and I want BioWare to have learned from all of that and to have also seen the competition out there and said, yep, we can match that, we can beat that, and we won't disappoint our fans again. That's what I want to see from all of these new projects. But super psyched early in 2019. It looks like it might be a bit of a birthday present for me in February to play Anthem, and I really hope that it is. All right, we might have to wait a long time for the Elder Scrolls 6, but we have a short wait for another new Elder Scrolls game. Bethesda has delayed their mobile game, Elder Scrolls Blades. It was set to land on iOS and Android devices before the end of the year, but with December practically here, Bethesda has pushed the launch back to early 2019. A more precise release date is yet to be revealed. Fans who are anxious to play can sign up for the beta test on the official website, although Bethesda hasn't said when that will begin either. First announced at E3 earlier this year, Blades is a simplified Elder Scrolls experience centered mostly around touch-based combat, although there will still be familiar world exploration. Over on consoles and the PC, the Elder Scrolls 6 was also announced at E3, but doesn't have a release window yet. Don't expect to be playing that one for at least a few years. I really enjoyed what I saw of Blades. I thought it was really cool. It was beautiful. They had a bunch of iPhone 10s were the phones that were available at E3, and the screen was gorgeous. The OLED screen and the high resolution graphics on there. It looked amazing. I think it's going to surprise a lot of people, and I think they with all the sort of downvotes on Fallout 76 out there, I think they want to come out strong with Elder Scrolls Blades. I think they're really sort of cognizant that they need to turn some frowns upside down with the release of this mobile title. Hopefully it will be a lot of fun. I have some faith, man. Bethesda's a great studio. I'm looking forward to seeing what this game is like, and I think the price is free, so we'll all be able to test this sucker out. Blake, are we just going to be sending people to websites to sign up for betas for the rest of the news today? Yep. Okay, good. All right, we might never get another Blade Runner movie, but that hasn't stopped the franchise from being replicated somewhere else. An anime series based on the neo-noir sci-fi franchise is on the way. Variety reports that Blade Runner 2049 production company Alcon is partnering with Adult Swim and Crunchyroll to create a series called Blade Runner Black Lotus, which will take place between the events of the first and second films. The idea of a Blade Runner anime isn't totally out of the blue. An anime short film called Blade Runner Blackout was released shortly before Blade Runner 2049, and that project's director Shinichiro Watanabe is overseeing the new series. Blade Runner 2049 bombed at the box office despite critical acclaim. Tisk tisk. So even though we're not getting a new movie, fans will be happy that the story is continuing in some way. Expect the first episodes next year. How can we not dive deeper into the Blade Runner myth, the Blade Runner storytelling, all of those great touch points. Both movies are incredible, and I actually like some of that short stuff that we saw prior to Blade Runner 2049. It still baffles me that the movie didn't do as well as it should have. I mean, it's an R-rated film, and it had a huge 3-hour running time. But God, it's a masterpiece. It's a totally beautiful work of art. Definitely the best looking thing that I put on my 4K display in terms of aesthetics for me and production value. Gorgeous. If you haven't seen Blade Runner 2049, I think all of you have, though. This crowd, the EP crowd, we're all in for Denis Villeneuve and his vision for Blade Runner 2049. But if you haven't, definitely get out to see it somehow. Stream it, go see it in a cool local theater or something. Whoosh. I'm just going to play with this spinner car for the rest of EP Live. Whoosh. Actually, they're silent. Oh, I love that movie. I'm looking forward to this anime. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Good on you, Crunchyroll. All right, you guys, we've got a lot more show to get into. Right now, we are going to This Day in Everything Cool.